Urban Wildlife Refuge program, uh, it's really meant to improve lives by expanding access to green space, education, and outdoor recreation for people living in urban areas who have been historically excluded.
I'm standing here today on the Great Swamp National Wildlife Refuge. Behind me is the Passaic River, which runs along the western edge of the refuge. The refuge acts as a sponge. It soaks up a lot of groundwater, contaminants, and provides a lot of space and habitat for wildlife.
During COVID, when the state parks were closed and the county parks were closed and other recreation areas were closed, people came here because the refuge never closed. The visitor center was closed, but the refuge itself never closed. And we were astonished at how many people looking for places to be outside in nature.
It's your open spaces. It's for your family, for your children. It's an opportunity for them to learn about nature, to get outdoors and away from a lot of the stress within the city, and being able to learn a little bit more about the birds and enjoy fishing.
First, it is an opportunity for people to get together. So when we have a program in Elizabeth, whether it's a tree planting or an archery event or an educational event of some kind, we want to bring people in and show them that it's fun and it's a place where they can meet their neighbors.
I think historically, when you talk about urban populations, getting access to nature, it tends to be a one-way street. It's about getting people out into nature, and you don't really see the reciprocity back. And that's really what's unique about the Urban Refuge Partnership from my perspective. And because there are so many fish and wildlife refuges across the country that are adjacent to urban centers, the potential is limitless for us to build on a national model together.
So the point of our program is to connect those people, and one of the ways we do that is by bringing the lessons of refuges into communities.
We find sometimes when we take kids on school groups that they know more about the plants and animals in South America because of things on television or documentaries they've seen than they do about things nearby. And we try to relate, we take their interest, they've had interest, and relate it to this. So it's nearby, and hopefully it's accessible.
We have programs and projects. We're doing work at Phil Rizzuto Park this coming summer. Just a few days ago, we had 850 riders here on something called the Tour de Elizabeth, getting people outdoors, riding along this beautiful river trail.
So ideally, I'd really like us to work closely with our urban partners to identify what are the key issues happening within a city. We know there's flooding, we know there's heat islands, we know the air pollution is bad, but working with our community to identify where these issues are happening, how can we mitigate, and how do we educate people?
Urban communities don't have the same sort of access and opportunity to experience beautiful natural places like this. And that's what this partnership is really about. It's about, one, connecting urban populations to the wonders of nature, and two, bringing the expertise of the Fish and Wildlife Service to help regreen areas.
We like the idea of the urban program. It started successfully in Southern California. We've recently extended it to Southern Florida, and it's been expanded here. The plan is, hopefully, it's going to continue to go to other major cities.
When we're working with youth and they come out to the refuge and maybe they've never been in a kayak before, right? But we're giving them skills and confidence, and we get them out on the water, and by the end of it, they're having a blast. So I think for me, it's really seeing the joy in others. The kind of events and programming we lead is really meaningful and long-lasting.
Most people that are drawn to conservation are true believers, so they believe in the power of nature for all the health benefits we've already talked about.
Regardless of where you're from, what your background, your age, this is a space for you. This is a refuge for not just the wildlife, but for you.